The Academy Sports and Outdoors Texas Bowl, along with the Wells Fargo, proud sponsors of the Mr. Texas Football Player of the Week and Year Award this Friday. We're going to be out at the Lufkin versus Tomball game at Tomball ISD Stadium to celebrate our great partnership and give fans the opportunity to not only interact with the Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year Award, which is pretty cool, but also to celebrate the epic players of Texas football lore through the Gridiron Legends program. The Gridiron Legends program honors individuals who have made a significant contribution to the game of football in the state of Texas, either the high school, college, or pro level. And boy, we've got one on the phone now. Pro Football Hall of Famer Kenny Houston joins us today, courtesy of our friends at the Academy Sports and Outdoors Texas Bowl, as one of their Gridiron Legends. And he's a legend indeed, 12-time Pro Bowler, 49 career interceptions with the Oilers and the Redskins. Mr. Houston, really appreciate your time today.
Hey, listen, thank you guys for what you do, and I'm happy to do anything to help because you guys do so much for Texas football, even football period. So I just feel good about being here.
Mr. Houston, growing up in Lufkin, you played your college football at Prairie View A&M, and then you get drafted by the Oilers. You know football in this state better than almost anybody. Can you tell us why you think football in this state is so special?
You know what? It's really interesting because I came from a team of like 35 guys. That was, from sophomores on up to seniors. And out of the 35 guys, I think 6 of us ended up playing pro ball, and that was way back. I didn't think much of it at the time, and then when I started to really follow Texas football, I really have no idea. I think probably because of the culture, the Friday Night Lights, I think guys grow up, everybody thinks about playing football, and it's encouraged. So I think that it's just a part of what we do here in Texas, and I have to be a part of that.
The NFL, I think, has changed so much since you've played. Especially the rules for defensive backs have changed so drastically. It seems like you can barely put the hands on a receiver. And you were a guy who, aside from being a ball hawk, you were also pretty physical out there. How do you think you would have fared in today's NFL?
Well, maybe I would have been real good up until the first time. Then I would have had to change my game. It's one of those situations that I look at it all the time, and I'm wondering, how can you cover? I mean, how can you do it? Unless it comes to a no-touch rule, then somebody's going to be at a disadvantage. They'll let them play a little bit more this year than they have in years past, but it's very difficult to be a defensive back. And I see a great defensive back being one of the top-paid positions in the league, so you're going to find a lot more athletes going to the defensive back position.
Speaking of receivers, it seems like you played against some of the all-time greatest receivers, in your career, whether it's Paul Warfield or Lynn Swann or Drew Pearson. Is there one in particular that you look back on and you think, man, I'm glad I don't have to face him anymore?
It is so many great receivers. I mean, there's a lot of them, but the one that's least talked about is Hall of Famer Lance Allworth. Mm-hmm. And he was not a flamboyant guy. He just caught the football, and he could run and play. So, when you come to see, you're talking about Bob Page, you're talking about all kind of receivers. But the one that he's admitted more than anyone else, you got Charlie Taylor from Grand Prairie, and it's really hard when you get to naming receivers because they're good on every team. And I was with Drew Pearson yesterday. He's one of the all-time great. You can just go on and on. So I don't want to get in that deal, but the one least mentioned is Lance Allworth.
Yeah, he was something special. We're talking with Kenny Houston, the Pro Football Hall of Famer here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. All right, I know that you're partial to the state of Texas, but you did play in one of the most intense rivalries in sports with the Redskins when you played with Redskins and Cowboys. So I guess, it tells me, you said you were in the same room with Drew Pearson yesterday, and I want to know, can you be in the same room with Roger Staubach without wanting to tackle him?
Well, I'd say... if it was Roger Staubach, I'd go Redskins and who?
That is old rivalries die hard.
Right. No, Roger is the state of Texas, really. He was everything that was meant to be in a quarterback position a fierce competitor. I mean, really, really fierce. I don't think anybody realized how fierce competitor he was. So when you played against Roger Staubach and the Tom Landry team, they got the juices flowing. But, you know, it's one of those games that you could have played 11 weeks in a row, and you would have had different results because both of the teams were so competitive. But I'm happy to have played in the era when it meant so much. And anytime I see those, I saw Walt Garrison yesterday, too. And Walt Garrison made my Monday Night Football famous.
Yeah.
And I told him, you know, after all these years. So it was good to see those guys. But the Cowboys, you know, they wear that ring for a reason.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Walt Garrison had nothing to say, too. I'm sure he's real quiet, stood in the corner, you know.
Yeah, Walt's a great guy. I was shocked to see him, but it was the same Walt, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was up close, and I was, you know, kind of feeling his muscles and stuff to see what kind of man was this. I stopped, you know. But I'm still the winner. Go ahead.
Finally, you know, connecting with your community has always been important to you. I know that's something that you've always valued here, especially in the state of Texas. How have you been able to connect in the Houston area thanks to your affiliation with the Academy Sports and Outdoors and the Gridiron Legends program?
Well, I think it's connecting with football fans. And once they deem you reachable, you're just another guy, and you like to talk football, and football is not a mystery, and you make them feel like that. Yeah, you can fit in anywhere. And I would like to think that I was that personality. I only started playing football when I was a sophomore in high school, so I did some things before that. I was a pitcher and a golfer and stuff like that. And once I put the game away, and I went back to being the original Kenneth Houston. So football is something that I did, but I was a person first, and I'm a person now, so I can associate with it. I can leave it there. It wasn't that I was great. It was the things that I did that just a cut above, and there's so many guys that could have filled my position.
I would say you were a cut above. He's Kenny Houston. He is the Pro Football Hall of Famer, joining us courtesy of our friends at the Academy Sports and Outdoors Texas Bowl and their Gridiron Legends program. Mr. Houston, I really appreciate your time. You know, thank you for everything that you've done for football in the state of Texas, and thanks again for joining us today.
And go Panthers. Thank you so very much.